She can't use the snow right there. It's a trap. She's gonna be all alone at the end.
I'm Hua Jun, soldier in the Emperor's Imperial Army.
She knows? She can feel?
Soldier in the Emperor's Imperial Army!
Then you will die, pretending to be something you're not.
And Hua Jun did die. Mulan lived.
She's choosing, to reveal herself. She's not forced to reveal herself. Careful, don't cut too much. I find that weird really. To make it realistic, but to include a witch. They didn't see you with this horse going around. Stupid. Stupid.
I'm Hua Mulan. Forgive me.
She's a girl? You are an imposter.
You don't know that she saved you all?
Punishment assigned to this
He doesn't know that she saved him.
expulsion.
I would rather be executed.
From this moment forward,
Better death than dishonor.
of the Emperor's Imperial Army.
I was a girl like you. When people turned on me, I've lived a life of exile. No country, no village, no family. We are the same.
Yes, I understand why they made that character for that, to make that parallel.
That coward who had taken the Imperial city, and your emperor will fall.
And it is my duty to fight for the kingdom and protect the Emperor.
Making her use powers and not her chi, making her a witch and not a warrior, it's saying that it's different for men and women. The contrary, then
His life is in danger.
we are the same. Do you understand what I mean?
Mulan has our army focused on the Silk Road, so he can sneak into the Imperial city and kill the Emperor. The Imperial army can't stop him now. But perhaps a small, well-trained force could.
You would believe Hua Jun. Why do you not believe Hua Mulan?
I believe Hua Mulan. I believe Hua Mulan. I believe Hua Mulan. I believe Hua Mulan. I believe Hua Mulan.
I will kill this Orikan like I killed his father.
You're gonna accept the
With my
duel?
own hands.
That's the seat of the duel? No.
Take the city. You need to find the Emperor. We'll hold him back.
here I stand. Proof that there is a place for people like us.
No. I need your help.
Where's the Emperor?
She's leaving you? Oh, it's not well filmed at all. But I like the inspiration, you know, Tigres et Dragons.
And in honor of my father,
This is where you will die. Burn. Who will come to save you, son of heaven?
The attack has met fierce resistance.
From who?
A young woman from a small village, a warrior.
You let her here.
Yep.
Taking place. Mulan.
For the meaning behind her death, you know, it's not that bad. The woman who fought hard to have the same rights than the man who died for it. No, not into the fire! Your dad's fault.
You are a mighty warrior. Rise up like a phoenix.
That's a good picture. Cut it, yes. And the emperor, he was saved, but he saved himself enfant.
Tell me your name.
Mulan. Ah!
Mulan, the people owe you a debt of thanks. I owe you my life. I invite you to take your place with our greatest decorated warriors.
I cannot accept it.
She did that for her dad.
I must return home and make amends to my family.
Devotion to family is an essential virtue.
Goodbye. Away.
Still won't take my hand. I'll see you again, Mulan.
Yes.
And the sword. I lost it.
The armor also. Look
The
at
sword is gone. Now I understand how much that sword means to you.
It is my daughter. That means everything to me. And it is I should apologize. One warrior knows another. You were always there. Yet I see you for the first time.
Oh, let's see, baby.
She has saved the dynasty. The entire kingdom is in her debt. The Emperor urges you to reconsider his invitation to join our greatest decorated warriors as an officer in the Emperor's Guard.
The girl became a soldier. The soldier became a leader. And the leader became a legend.
Guys, that was a good entertainment movie. That was what I expected with this movie. I spent a good time. It remembered me, you know, the animated movie that I loved so much. They took the majority of the stuff, you know, from that first story, they took the main things, situations, characters, they changed things for sure, but they announced that since the beginning of the movie, saying that it's one tale, like there are plenty of tales about Mulan. This is one. Like they announced it, they did it, while taking a lot of things from the first story and changing some little things, like the relationship with the father, which is different because he can see who she is truly, when the father into the animated movie, not at all, not at any moment. Right there, he can see who she is. He's forcing her to hide her chi, but at the end, he wants to protect her. The relationship is not the same, it's changed a little. And some little things like that, like the fact that the test is not the same, at the end the fight is not the same, the fact that they don't know that she saved them with the snow and all, with that army, that's not the same at all. For that, it's not bothering me, because it's entertaining. It's the same story with little change, and that's great also. We're surprised even if we already know the story, so I'm okay with it. I'm glad also because they made some little references with what they used from the former story, but also with the musical theme, and that's cool that they made it. So for that, I'm glad also, and it's entertaining, and I spent a good time. At the end, they had me, I had some tears right there, so it's okay, it's functioning well. That being said, some other stuff are bothering me. For how it's done on screen, it's beautiful pictures sometimes, and it's well done. They know how to film some scenes, and this casting is playing well, and yes, pictures are great, landscapes, you know how they are filming them, it's great, and some good moments, some good pictures during some moments, it's really cool, so I'm okay with that. How they filmed some fight scenes, that was not good at all. I don't know why some of the fight scenes were well filmed and some others were so badly filmed, like really cut and cut and cut and cut it to it, and the camera moving into all of the, and at the end we don't see it, we don't see really the fight moment. And for movies like that, and also for fights like that, we appreciate to see the moves, you know. The moves, you know, of that kind of fight are so interesting, like it's not just guns pointing at each other. No, it's about the moves that they are making, it's about, you know, the choreography around that. So sometimes they are filming it well and we can see it, you know, that choreography and how it's done. And sometimes with all of this cut and with all of these movements of camera like that, we can't even see it, you know, we can't even enjoy the moment, enjoy the moves, see how cool it is, how gracious it is. The fact that it's also really difficult to do it like that, so it's bothering me, the fact that how they filmed some moments were not great. For the production, you know, the post-production of some moments also, I don't know what issues they had with the green screen. I don't know the translation of that in English. The green backgrounds, you know, that you can use to put right there environment and all. Sometimes they were really bad and we could feel it, you know. Sometimes I knew that it was green backgrounds, but it was okay, I didn't feel it so much, and it was well done, you know, on screen, it was well mixed, you know, it was fitting well. And sometimes not at all, like clearly we could see that they were not, you know, at a good position, they were not there, they were not doing that for real, they were... Sometimes it was not well at all. So see, for how it was done on screen, for the majority of the movie, like for 90% of the movie, well done, I have nothing to say about it. We have good landscapes, we have a good casting, we have good pictures. They are also playing with the lights. They made some movements of cameras, sometimes useful, sometimes not necessary, but they did it, you know, so it's already great. And for the 10% of it, it was not well done. Some fight scenes and some green backgrounds moments, really, it was bothering me, like it felt a little cheap, which is really annoying when really we can feel that this movie, they had a lot of money to do it. So to have these moments feeling cheap because into the post-production step they didn't make it right, it's an issue. For me, it's an issue. When you have that amount of money and during the filming moment it's okay, during, you know, the casting moment, all of that it's okay, but it's at the step of the post-production that something is not functioning, you know, for the editing of that moment, for these fight scenes, or for the sci-fi effects, I don't know how to say it, with the green backgrounds. It's bothering me, you know. Like, I know that with the same moments, with another editing, with a better post-production, they can do it better. I know, like really, I can feel that they have everything that they should, you know, to make it right on screen, but because of bad decisions during the post-production, they did it badly. So that's why it's bothering me. See how it's done on screen, 19% okay and more than okay, 10% not good at all, and because of the post-production, which is bothering me, and I think people were paying a little attention, you know, to pictures. For the story, for what they made with the story, I said it in intro of this review, 90% of it, I'm okay, I'm glad, it's what I wanted, it was entertaining, it was a story that we appreciated before with little change, it was great. For the 10% left, I have some issues. I have some issues because when they began to promote that movie, I saw that they chose to not make Mushu, to make it more realistic. I was a little disappointed, but I was like, okay. Watching it today, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see something more realistic and all. We have a woman who can transform into birds, who has powers. The phoenix thing, I'm gonna let it behind, you know, because it's representing the ancestors, it's more a spiritual aspect, you know, so I'm not gonna talk about it. But that woman, she's using magic, you know, powers, into something that you want to make more realistic, more historical. It's not functioning at all. So that's why during the movie I said that the character of that woman was bothering me for what it was representing for the movie, what I just said, but also for what it's representing for the story. I'm gonna come to that point. The fact that she's used to make a parallel with Mulan, the fact that she's like Mulan, she's using her chi, she was forced to hide herself, to not be herself during a certain period of time, the fact that people are mocking her because she's truly herself, she's like that, she's considered as a witch, all of that, I'm okay with it, I'm okay to have that parallel. To make her have powers, no. Not only because it's not working with what they want to do with the movie, but also because it's not working with what they want to do with the story, with that parallel with Mulan. Because Mulan, she doesn't have powers, and also, you know, for the message that you're trying to put into that about women, the fact that we can use our chi, the fact that we can be warriors, the fact that we can be equals to men, to make someone, a woman, the only woman who accepted her chi, who is truly herself a witch with powers, it's not functioning. It's destroying, in fact, your message. You're saying, like Mulan, she's going totally with the message, you know, the story, the fact that women, They are allowed, they can be herself, they can use her chi, they can be brave, they can be warriors, and they don't have to hide themselves. All of that is functioning well, but for that woman it's not functioning well at all because of this power thing. Because you are saying that a woman who is going, you know, further into that direction, being herself, at the end she's a witch, she has powers, so she's no longer equals to men because she has powers, because she can hurt them. Like, do you understand what I mean? I don't understand that logic of making her have powers for the movie and for the story, the message that you want to print with her by making that parallel. Again, to make that parallel with Mulan, that was a good idea. To have her dying like that, I can be like, okay, that's great, because she can represent all of the women who tried to be herself, who died because of men, or who died because they sacrificed themselves for women's rights and stuff like that. That's great. But at the end, you're also sending the message, women who want really to be themselves until the end, you know, like really only by herself, and all at the end they die. When Mulan, at the end, she chose to come back with her family, you know, because devotion to your family, that's the most important thing, and not be yourself, in fact, you know, like you have, before that, to have your family accepting who you truly are, to be truly yourself. Do you understand what I mean? The fact that she has to come back, that's great, because it's giving that final scene with the dad, and that's what I wanted, and I cried for it. That's what also I was expecting because of the animated movie and because of this relationship with the dad, so it's cool. But again, for the message behind it, they are putting devotion to the family above everything, and she wants to be herself, but still she needs her family to accept that. And now that she honored, you know, all of the country and stuff like that, they're gonna accept her for who she is, not before. Before, no. Now that you proved yourself and all, now you can be truly yourself. And because you're not a real witch, you don't have powers. Do you understand what I mean? Like, really, for the message behind it, if you're reading the movie just like that, you know, first degree, it's working. Like, it's not gonna shock kids, it's not gonna shock little girls and stuff like that. But really, first degree, because if you are just thinking a little more about the situation, at the end, it's not really a feminist message. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you can be yourself, but you have to have your family accepting you. And for that, you need to prove yourself a lot. You can be equal to men, but you can't be more than men, you know, by having powers and stuff like that. That's not great at all. You're a slave, or you're gonna die at some point. That's the 10% that I was talking about, you know, the fact that having powers and magical things into this movie, that's not logical with the movie itself, and the message, the feminist aspect of Mulan, which was already into the animated movie, you know, when you think about it. I mean, when I was a little girl, that was the first time that I had a Disney girl who was not a princess, you know, who was not perfect, who was not waiting for guys to do the stuff, and who was doing the stuff, who was a warrior, who was doing stuff and all. So that was insane, and I loved her for that a lot. Clearly the movie is good for that. Like I said, 90% of it, it's great, and for kids it's great. It's not gonna bother them at all. The 10 other persons, you know, the subtitles into this movie, they're not so great. And again, I think that it's a character of that witch who is not good at all and who is bothering the story for the magical aspect, which should not be into the movie, and for the message, you know, about women. she's disturbing the message. So for me, the same movie without that woman character and with better fight scenes and screen and green backgrounds, it's a 10. I mean, for that kind of movie, for that kind of entertaining movie, it would be a 10. Right there, it's not because of that. I don't know if you understand all of what I just said, you know, if you share my vision of things right there, about the fact that kids and people who are watching this movie first degree, nothing is gonna bother them for how it's done on screen, for the story, and it's okay because it's well done, because it's a good entertaining movie, because it's a good re-adaptation of the animated movie. It's functioning well, it's working well. If you are paying a little more attention to what is happening on screen, there are some little moments which are not well done, and it's because of post-production stuff, so it's not logical and it's annoying me, you know. For again, the amount of money that you can put into a movie like that, you should do better. And for the story, if you are paying attention a little to things and not just the first degree of the story, there are some little things which are bothering and all focused, you know, around that female character, that witch, you know, that female bird character. I don't see the point, you know, of creating her. If not to make that parallel with Mulan, I'm not sure that it was necessary. All of what happened to Mulan during that moment, it could have happened by herself or with the Phoenix. You know, for her to be guided to the Emperor, it could be the Phoenix. For her to face herself, to finally reveal herself, it could come only from her, from the situation. Because at the end, it's really in that, in fact. And for the warriors, you know, for the enemies, she's not that important also, like... Tell me, what do you think about it? About what I just said, you know, about the first degree of the movie, and also if you are paying a little more attention to how it's done on screen and to the story, can you see what I'm talking about? Did it bother you or not? Did you see it or not? I'm interested by that. Okay, I spent a good time no matter what. I said it worked. It really worked on me. I had all of the emotions that I wanted. It was what I expected. I spent a good moment. 90% of the movie, I was glad. I enjoyed myself, so it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna see you on another day for Tenet, that you're gonna have also this month, don't worry. But not today. Not for me and not for you also, you're gonna have it a little later during the month. Okay, so it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Crazy.